So I think now we're finally rolling.
We back in the studio.
We're back.
Back.
We
Actually, they won't even know that we left.
we've always been here in a certain
We live in this room.
in a certain way. We've always been here.
Yeah. You guys only know us in this vicinity, this grove, this.
I'm feeling like the lights are a little bit bright. Also, Grove is a great idea for what this place could be called. The Grove.
I like that.
The Gritty Grove.
The,
Shout it out in the comments. Y'all let us know. Gritty Grove. It's live. It's happening.
like for yes, ignore for no.
Like for yes. Like also for no. Actually.
Because it's happening either way. Like
Yeah. Gritty Grove.
Gritty Grove.
We're between the hedges right now. So Jackson.
So right.
We kind of brainstormed what this episode might be,
Yeah.
but also maybe at the top we can just talk about how life is going. What's the deal, dude? How you been?
Good. Classes started like 2 or 3 weeks in. We're chilling.
Yeah.
Enjoying it. Yeah, man. Work's good. Hanging out at the Joe's.
Cruising through the new year here.
Yeah.
Some say don't say Happy New Year at this point.
Oh, we're too far
We're
past that.
we're way too far past
Yeah,
it.
we're just.
It's
just the year now.
It's mid to late January, so some people are like, hey, it's still fresh. Some people are like, don't come at me with that nonsense.
It's here. Like
It's here. We still have over 90% of the year, so don't freak out if you're enjoying the happiness of a new year. Perhaps still.
Yeah, keep popping that champagne bottle every night.
Also, Lunar New Year that just happened. So
Oh yeah.
different calendars and shit.
They did drop a Lunar New Year bundle in the Call of Duty item shop, so check that out.
New Year bundle.
Yeah, came with a sweet little PDSW bill.
Okay.
I didn't get it. I didn't spend money on it, guys.
But this is a reunion for us because we haven't seen each other in a week or two.
Yeah. You missed Friday night at Katie's.
Friday night at Katie's is back.
We brought that back.
Well, Jackson,
super stoked.
I'm going to tell you that you missed a crazy halfway cross-country trip, road trip. Yeah, so my mom just left the country.
To Thailand. Right?
To Thailand. She's in the Peace Corps. Shout out, Margaret Jewell, what up? Hope you're doing okay out there in some, I imagine, remote village of Thailand. Engaging the youth, empowering the youth.
Riding elephants.
Right, possibly mounting an elephant and seeing the countryside. So yeah, she left Houston for LA to do like Peace Corps training, last training thing, and then she went to South Korea, and then she went to Thailand. That was her flight pattern. So yeah, I was in Houston for that to see her off, and then one of my homies I grew up with in and around Houston, we road tripped up to Dallas, closed out his storage unit, grabbed his stuff, and then we shot back out to North Carolina. He lives in Asheville. We're in Wilmington, and yeah, it was just a crazy, trek through the mountains in Tennessee and Arkansas.
That's a lot of driving.
It was a lot of driving. It was like 22 hours in 3 days. Not to mention, yeah, just the silliness of the moving the storage unit stuff. But anyway, it's been a while. Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you.
Put some love on it there.
I'm saying.
I'm saying Katie's is back, apparently. That's exciting development for the year.
Yeah.
But yeah, otherwise, what we said, maybe this episode would be like television ideas and.
So yeah, we're gonna also, we want our audience to be interactive. All 5 people that watch. Shout out to you guys. But yeah, like we're gonna just talk about TV this episode. We're gonna so I guess I'll start off. What's your favorite TV show?
Yo, okay, so I'm not sure really what is definitely my favorite TV show.
You got a little top 3, top 5 list?
Yeah, so my daily fixation thing that I love to watch is ESPN Pardon the Interruption. Michael Wilbon, Tony Kornheiser, the guys are hilarious, been doing it for 20 plus years. That I love is for daily television. It lets me bro out with some sports talk, but they're pretty smart guys. So, if bigger things are happening in the culture and it relates to sports, they can speak on it pretty eloquently and beautifully, I think. I loved Scrubs as a kid, teenager, adolescent. But lately I've been thinking about favorite television or best television for me. And I think Mad Men might be for me the best TV show. or like the most American TV show. I don't really know, but YouTube has been suggesting Mad Men like scenes, like 1, 2, 3 minute scenes, and like I'm a sucker. I'll always click on
Just
it
checking it out.
because it's like, oh yeah, I've already seen the whole show. Like I'll watch this scene. That's like an amazing scene and whatever.
These are Mad Men for Mad Men.
It's getting mad out here.
I'm saying it's a madhouse.
But yeah, like television is such a huge thing. So I'm curious about you. What is your favorite or best TV? Do you think?
Favorite show of all time for me, Psych.
Okay, interesting.
Just love the dynamic of the characters. Such a funny show. I mean, I've watched it probably 5 times now, like just throughout.
Okay.
Love it. Like you just can't go wrong with it. Then probably second favorite is a show that is practically the same. Like it's very similar. Like when you look at it, you can line up the characters. Like, oh yeah, this is the equivalent of this one. Is Chuck.
Okay.
It's a funny show. Another little CIA kind of deal stuff. Just like law enforcement, but funny. And then,
right. It is a comedy, and it's like kind of like nerd IT culture too, isn't it? Because like the Best Buy thing.
Yeah, it's Buy More, and then they got instead of the Geek Squad's the Nerd Herd, which I do have a Nerd Herds shirt somewhere. Yeah. And then probably third favorite, just like a classic, is Friends. It's just a funny one. I mean, you got your big hitters like Friends, The Office, Parks and Rec. All those I love. No complaints. Like I will watch that any time of day.
Yeah. The Office, I think, is one of my particular favorites of like the token shows that are like obvious like favorite shows. Yeah. I think Robert California is one of my favorite characters.
Spader, right?
Yeah, James Spader plays Robert California, and I guess like season 8. I think it's season 8. I'm not totally sure.
Come back.
It's like
it's been a minute since I've seen The Office because I took it down off Netflix.
Oh yeah, because it's on Peacock now. So like it's again, like I think I just mentioned earlier, like the proliferation of TV and like the explosion of television that we've had in like the past like 10 or 15 years, and like it's insane because like
because of Netflix.
Yeah, streaming, right, and just like everything is a channel. Like we are a fucking channel now. Like that's like how crazy is that?
So if you want to pay us, YouTube, we're here for it.
Hey YouTube, sign us checks, bro. We're bringing you revenue, YouTube.
And we'll only get better with more money. So.
Hey! But yeah, like I didn't even think about like The Office as like, again, of all these like token shows that are like, the easy picks. Yeah. That's one of my favorites.
It gets overlooked maybe because it's so good. Because it's like, I don't know.
Well, to me, The Office is so good, but it's also like so obvious. Like The Office, Friends. Yeah.
You want to be a little different.
Yeah. Like to me, those are like obvious picks. Also, I gotta shout out The Sopranos. That is probably a top 3 show. It's so good. And also Breaking Bad is like, I'm a sucker for like that monumental drama and like anti-hero stuff. But I think that's also like my thing with Mad Men is like I love Don Draper, even though sometimes I hate him. But like he's such a fascinating, compelling. Like there's more to him. Like, is he a good guy? Like, he does some good things. He does some bad things.
Moral hazards. I love it.
Moral hazards, dude. That's a fascinating possible title. TV and moral hazards.
I like that. I think we might have just found it.
Might be it there. So yeah, how about you? Do you have certain favorite characters? Again, for Robert California and Don Draper, I think are 2 of mine.
Those are your 2 favorite. For me, for Psych, Sean Spencer.
Okay.
Absolute hilarious character. Man, yeah. And then I might throw in like a little special, like honorable mention for another favorite character, The Mandalorian.
Oh, nice.
I love that show. The guy that played it, I'm drawing a blank. Glenn, if you're watching, please comment.
Glenn!
Please
let us know, Glenn.
Yeah, let us know. He'll call us out on every Star Wars thing that we just messed up on. Yeah. But no, I love The Mandalorian. I think that was one of the best shows that I've ever seen. It was so well done. Same with Book of Boba. I mean, they just went hand in hand. It was kind of like, I've only seen bits and pieces of Breaking Bad, but it was kind of like how Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are like, meshed into one. It's like Mandalorian and Boba Fett, they like end up conjoining kind of. So
that's cool.
Sorry, spoilers alert. I have to put that in the description.
Everybody, spoilers.
So it's just awesome how they went hand in hand, and the production and being a big Star Wars fan, it's like, gotta love it.
Yeah. I also feel like
Pedro Pascal, that's his name.
that is his name. Yes. I also feel like again, TV is just so expansive these days. That's some people don't even know the shows we're talking about. They're like, what is Psych? What is whatever? What is Better Call Saul? Who knows? But I think also ubiquitous TV like The Office, like Friends, like SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh,
SpongeBob is a legend.
Absolutely.
Like he's at this point, I think one of the most iconic cartoons ever. And I think it came out maybe the year you were born. I was 8 or 9 years old.
I think it did. Yeah.
I think SpongeBob is 99, and so that dude's been going for decades at this point.
I think he's celebrated something. I guess he was 34 or something. Like there's some statistical. So I was
right.
SpongeBob's birthday. It was the actual character. It was weird.
So I don't know if you've heard this, but I heard or I read or something once upon a time that SpongeBob SquarePants was supposed to be an Adult Swim show on Cartoon Network.
I don't doubt it.
Because SpongeBob and Patrick are supposed to be gay, and that's when they switched it from Adult Swim to Nickelodeon for kids, they just kind of took out certain details, but the structure of the show was the same.
Really?
It was just it was the dynamic was there.
There was definitely some grown-up humor. I think that they could appreciate, the parents could appreciate when us kids were watching it. They're probably ha ha ha.
I mean. Yeah, SpongeBob is also kind of ageless and timeless in that way.
It is.
There is some weird.
I would still love to watch it.
Yeah, there is some weird humor.
Mm-hmm.
I have heard that kids on drugs love SpongeBob. I don't know. That's just something I've heard.
I haven't heard that, but I'm sure they would.
That's right, Jackson. I've actually never heard that in my life until I spoke it into existence right now. Yeah. So yeah, SpongeBob's classic. Also. I don't know if you're aware of the animated Harley Quinn show that came out in 2019.
No,
so it used to be the DC Universe channel, and then that was a failed venture, but HBO swallowed it up. So I think HBO is now producing Harley Quinn, and I think they're maybe done with 3 seasons. But Kaylee Cuoco, she's from Eight Simple Rules. I think she's the flight attendant on HBO right now. She does. What does that mean? That's the TV show she's on.
Flight attendant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, that's the thing. There's so much TV that it's ridiculous. And of course, there are some that I'm just not even thinking of. It's oh yeah, I love that show.
One that we just absolutely looked over, that we're not thinking of. Rick and Morty.
Rick and
How
Morty,
did that
dude.
Come up? We love that show.
Rick and Morty, there are a few episodes of Rick and Morty that I would consider in my top 20 episodes of anything ever.
The Mount Rushmore of TV shows.
Maybe. I don't know if I'd go that far, but just there are certain episodes. It's if I had my pick of the best television episodes, I would probably pick 3 episodes from Rick and Morty for my top 20.
Spotify playlist of songs. It's
exactly.
Playlist. They should actually do that. They should do where you can just watch your favorite shows just randomly like that.
Yeah.
Make a playlist. That would be kind of. We're giving these guys ideas.
YouTube. Just a little bit of dough. We're just trying to make a pizza out here. Just a little bit of dough.
We're boys with dough. You got the place in town, girls with dough. We're boys with dough. Looking for dough.
Interesting. I think I have seen that pizza place.
It's fantastic.
Okay, interesting.
It was a little pricey from what I heard, but it was so good. I had one of those stromboli things. It was I never had one. It's a little taco pizza. It was super good.
Jackson on his stromboli taco pizza.
Give me a stromboli.
Anyway, yeah, I think my last notes about TV. About TV preferences. I think now we can open this up to an even bigger conversation.
Yes.
But so far as TV taste, I do want to shout out Full House because I kind of grew up with that in daycare and that was very informative. Pokemon was a huge one. Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh were fun. And yeah, I don't want to be and now let's talk about video games because that should be its own episode. But it is, the screen has been such a crazy dynamic force in American, but also just world culture for the past 70 years. That's when we moved from cinema and everyone had to go into the theater to see it, and then it's it went to homes, and then now it's most people are just watching movies in their homes and not
going out.
not going out.
Also, it's so expensive.
Right.
It's like $5 for the ticket, $30 to get a bag of popcorn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's 30 a bag, and I don't think it's $5 a ticket, but yeah, it's whack prices.
Mm-hmm.
So, any last? Did anything else come to you? Like, how could I forget to mention this?
I don't think so. Just now we're gonna take this. We're gonna circle to if you could be a character in any TV show. What TV show would it be, and who would you be?
Oh, okay. So this is my weird thing with the two guys that I mentioned, Robert California and Don Draper. Like, it would be amazing to be Don Draper in the show. Like, again, he does some like stupid and bad things, but also like he's just the fucking man. Like, he takes naps and he like gets hammered on bourbon, and he just like has encounters with beautiful women and like tries to raise his kids and has like 3 wives maybe or 2. I don't know how many wives. Sorry, that's a spoiler for Mad Men. There's divorce in Mad Men.
Oh wow.
Also, Don Draper takes a nap, in case that spoiler wasn't already there. But also like Robert California on a lighter side of like not all of that debauchery and problematic, troubling behavior from Don Draper. Robert California has a lot of allusion to like a crazier, seedier life.
Yeah.
And there are some weird.
He's a weird dude.
He's a weird guy, but also like he has such a zest for life, and like I think he understands like something about the universe. Mm-hmm. So like those guys. Yeah. I think that's what I got for now. How about you? Who would you want to be, or like what show would you want to be in? And so also, I guess, are we talking about like acting in the show, or are we talking like existing in the universe?
Existing in the universe.
Okay,
I think Psych would be a really fun one to be in. It's just it's a good.
So what Psych is like? They're like detectives, and one of them has like a mental power or something.
Yeah. So Sean Spencer's the main guy. He has the psychic ability. So they're detectives. Psychic detectives.
Okay.
Spoiler alert. So if not, skip a couple minutes ahead.
Nobody's skipping. Don't skip.
Right,
these spoilers are fine. No one's worried about these fucking spoilers.
You learn about it in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah. Leave a comment if you care about these spoilers. Actually, leave a comment if you don't, because nobody does.
Yes.
Anyway, Psych.
So he has, so he's a detective, but he's psychic.
Okay.
But no one's actually psychic. So he's, acts like he's having visions and stuff. Like he's just hyper observant. He was raised that way because his dad was the detective. So he's hyper observant. So he'll see like one of the episodes he saw like their fingernails were a little chipped or something. So he'd be like, "Oh, I'm sensing you're very nervous," and he'll just like flick his eyes over there, notice things, be like, phew, 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 and then he'll be like, I'm having a vision, and then they'll be like, "Wow, this is fantastic," and he'll just be like better than the detectives. Like he's basically the best detective in the world, but he has to lie about it.
Okay.
So it's like you're either the best detective in the world or you're like an actual psychic. So, but he lies about it, but he can't be outed because then he'd be basically falsifying evidence, lying, and so it just goes through the dynamic of that, relationships, all that stuff. He acts like a kid basically.
Okay.
Like he lives in a fantasy where he's a psychic and just kind of. So he acts a little immature for his age. Okay. But it's hilarious.
So there's like multiple like layers of like mental and emotional stuff going on there. If he's like pretending.
He doesn't actually think he is. He's just, he just.
But the desire is its own thing. So that's fascinating.
Because he kind of puts on a false facade that he is the psychic.
Okay, so right, when we're talking about like existing in the universe of that show, that does sound fun to like be like in on that joke and to like perpetuate it.
And his best friend Gus is on in with it. Yeah. And they go on these crazy adventures. They drive a little Toyota Yaris that they call the Blueberry. Yeah. And it's crazy.
So to wrap up this like character,
analysis.
Yeah, analysis or character assumption. Like if we assume that character. Even though I'm sure Morty Smith is scared shitless when he's doing Grandpa Rick adventures.
Some of them are pretty cool.
It would be fun to be Morty for like a little bit and just see the wackiness of that world, right?
It would.
Yeah. Okay, so now I want to blow this conversation up and beyond like the nuts and bolts of TV and like favorite episodes and favorite shows and characters, but just like what the hell is TV anymore? Like, some people say, like, oh, it's on the computer, it's streaming. Like, that's not television, you know? Like, it's got to be on Fox or CBS.
I think it's what anything these days
Anything is TV.
I think it's at our fingertips at all times.
Yeah.
Like, everything, like, in society, we can take it on the go. I mean, we got our TV in the pocket.
TV
right
in the
here.
pocket. TV right now recording us. The TVs are now the cameras. Like, how insane is that?
Boom, TV right there.
TV. Like, we're watching ourselves as we're recording ourselves. Like, it's so funny and weird.
We're on TVs.
We're in your TV.
Yeah, watch us on the big screen. That'd be tight.
Hey.
Yeah, but it's also amazing how the TV industries, they have to adapt with today's culture. That's why they're in our pockets. Because you look at Blockbuster, we talked about that in my business class. You look at Blockbuster, Netflix blew them out. I mean, they just because Blockbuster was living in the past. They were like, no, we're going to have these brick and mortar stores. And it's like, they didn't want to go digital, and they're like, nah, we're not doing that. It's hocus. And then look at them now. They're gone.
Is there even that one Blockbuster left anymore, or did they close it down?
There is like one left, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's in Oregon, but I'm not sure.
Like, yeah, okay, you went from like $1 billion company to one store. Like, nice work.
Dang, dude.
Just because they didn't want to go digital. And then you look at Netflix. You know, they started out with sending discs. I don't know if you remember that back.
Oh yeah, no, mail-in DVDs. Yeah, that was the business model.
And then, you know, now they're just streaming everywhere.
They invented streaming essentially.
Yeah.
And then
Amazon.
Now they have like too many competitors, and they're tanking. I think TV has a lot to do with like the rise and fall of empires, and I do wonder if like the past 50 years of hundreds of millions of Americans being glued to the magic light box, if like that is the definitive sign, like the American empire is crumbling. Because we don't do anything anymore. We just watch and consume entertainment.
We watch other people do it.
We watch other people do all these things. And like some of it does matter. We need to learn. We need to like see by example. You know, like YouTube tutorials are so useful.
Oh, they are.
Some of these conversations we're having are so useful. But I'm not sure that like the television conversation, like what's your favorite TV show? Like I don't think that says as much about our personalities as we like hope it does.
Yeah.
Like so many people on these fucking dating apps are like, oh yeah, I love The Office and I love Friends. And
so
it's
many
like,
people do.
and that's so uninteresting.
Yeah, it's like, okay. Like,
so yeah, like
what's your favorite character? Oh, cool, nice.
Right, yeah, like I don't want to define myself like purely by my tastes, but sometimes it does help us filter, filter ourselves.
It definitely helps. I would definitely like to know if I'm going on a date, what show they like. It's one of those baseline questions.
It's access for easy conversation, which should hopefully yield deeper and deeper and deeper conversations. But that's the thing. Like I worry that too much of this image fucking culture is surface value like nonsense.
Guys, take the little paint scraper, chisel away, get onto that surface value.
I love that, dude. I think that's the final message. Like we can enjoy the television and enjoy the entertainment, but we need to remember to dig deeper into like what all of this means, and remember that like we do need to make the connections with other people and not just bounce back and forth from the screen.
Life is like an onion, guys. You gotta peel back the layers.
All right, y'all. I think that's TV episode number 1.
Peace.
Like, share, subscribe, as this guy likes to say.
Mash that notification bell, be notified.